Hello, ladies.
Hello.
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 Welcome to episode 15 of Auntie Listen. We are going to start with our quote. Mama was my greatest teacher, a teacher of compassion, love, and fearlessness. If love is sweet as a flower, then my mother is that sweet flower of love. And that quote is by Stevie Wonder. What do you guys think of the quote?
I mean, it came from my boy. Can't go wrong with my boy.
Right?
That's what I was thinking. It was Stevie. What else is what that
Stevie.
look? There's nothing else to say.
There's nothing else to say.
No,
Stephen needs
not
to
no
stop lying and
Stevie.
saying he blind. But okay, yep, I love the quote.
She said he needs to stop lying, saying he's blind. Okay. All right. We are going to turn it over to Auntie Marva for announcements.
The very first announcement is that, of course, we want you all to follow all of our affiliation links, right? So we're on Amazon, we're on Bed Bath and Beyond, we're with Target, with Walgreens, we're with Walmart, and we are with The Great Discovery. You can partner with us. Our links are in the bio, and with partnering with us on these links, you receive the same discounts we receive. Ain't that bomb? Now, as far as the Great Discovery, you can sign up for free, or get some paid classes, and you can upload a course and share your course and your wealth of knowledge with the rest of the world too. We also have Auntie Listen merch. You can click on auntie-listen.myshopify.com to find all kinds and sorts of nice goodies that we have with our logo and our name, and all of our paraphernalia that we have representing Auntie Listen podcast. So go to that link, get a couple of things, support the cause, support the podcast, and look cute while you're doing it. We want you to like, subscribe, and comment on all of our links. We are on YouTube, Auntie Listen. We are on IG, Auntie Listen. We are on X, which used to be Twitter, Auntie List 52888. And we are on TikTok, Auntie Listen. So, as well as Patreon. You go to patreon.com/, Auntie Listen. Early access for $5 allows you to access the next upcoming show before everyone else. So again, like, comment, subscribe, share, tag a friend, leave a comment, leave some questions, add some topics that you want us to discuss. And we will do our best to try to link up with y'all in another show.
Thank you, Auntie Marva.
You're welcome.
So, July awareness is July 1st is Disability Pride Month, plastic free, and minority mental health awareness. And Shark Week, had to shout out for the sharks. The 12th
Dun,
is
dun, 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 dun,
Malala
dun, dun,
Day.
dun.
The 16th is Be Love Day. The 24th is International Self Care Day. The 29th is World Heart Day. The 29th is International Tiger Day. So those are the awareness for the month of July.
Wow.
Right. You're supposed to go dun 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 like Auntie Chinese
That's his
for the
baby
shark.
shark. Ah, do 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 do
No,
do.
no, we are not doing that.
Okay,
We are not doing that annoying song.
I love that song.
Watch your mouth, Auntie. Watch your mouth.
It is
Okay, it's a bunch of
annoying.
toddlers around.
And they
Okay,
fit your knees. They're just tall enough to handle them knees for you. Leave it alone if I were you.
Oh, okay, so our show topic is featured by Auntie Marva, and it is relationships, parenting, game changer. So, our first topic is single parents. So, I was not aware of this, but there is a Single Parent Alliance of America, and I will have their link in the description.
What?
It is a free organization that you can sign up with, and they have all sorts of resources to help with single parents. Were you guys aware of this Single Parent Alliance?
I had no
No.
clue.
No.
I had no clue.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't really get a lot of information from their website because you have to sign up to
Mm.
access all of this stuff, and I didn't want to I didn't want to do that.
Is there a cost?
No, it's 100%
Okay.
free. Yes. And so what I was able to get is that the Single Parent Alliance of America is compromised of information, resources, programs, and savings for single parents across the United States and is dedicated to the purpose of supplying information about financial planning, advice, articles, information, and other services that may be useful and beneficial to single parents.
Bet that
So
up. Sign me up.
yeah, so go and check it out. It's 100% free and confidential. Your SPAOA membership connects you to scholarships for schools, gift card drawings, coupons, discount cards, life insurance discounts, and more. All of these programs are made available to you as a member of SPAOA and are completely voluntary. So yeah, so go and check that out for all of the single parents. I'm sorry I couldn't get more information about the type of programs that they offer, but like I said, you had to join in order to get that. And I was like, well,
It seems
my
like a no-brainer that we would have that, that there would be a such a thing since it's such a widespread thing, but at the same time, it seems like we're probably oblivious just because it's such a broad thing, like it's so much of it, which kind of is sad to me.
yeah,
You know, children are not generally growing up in two-parent households. That we're just
right.
kind of accepting that what if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
But on the flip side, I have heard of like single moms groups, not just like a parent alliance, but single moms, of course, because I'm a mama, so yeah, those run across my thing. But also single dads, which is kind of the minority of the whole thing. I've
Right,
heard of those groups individually.
right. And yes, and speaking of that, so this group is for single parents. You could be a single mom or a single dad. You just have to be
Hmm.
single. You just have to be a single parent to join the group.
Single, 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 single.
Yes.
Mm-mm-mm.
And they
Like,
and they also have support information for foster because it says and foster po- positivity. So I'm wondering if they also work with single foster parents as well. But I have autism, so I read things into stuff that's not there sometimes. So I misinterpret stuff all the time. I'm just gonna blame it on that. So yeah, so if you're a single parent, go and check them out. And then our second thing is summertime. And what are we doing with these childrens for the summer to keep them busy and out our hair? We got a link for 24 low cost summer activities for children. I am not going to go through all 24. I'm
Or
just
what were
going
some
to
of your
go the
favorites? What
Yeah,
were
I can
some that
pick
looked
up.
interesting to you, Auntie?
Okay, so some of the ones that looked interesting to me. So, but I'm kind of weird. Was to camp in the yard.
Hmm.
I liked that one.
We do that. Hmm.
Make a bird feeder. Learn cooking skills. Paint outside.
Too
Go
hot.
fish. Yeah. See, this one I have not done, but I'm kind of interested in it. Is go fishing.
That's Michelle, Auntie Michelle.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
And then they have like enroll in craft in a craft course. Now I know like Michael's sometimes they have free courses if you look on their calendars. They offer free sometimes they offer free courses. I don't know if other craft stores
Yes.
I
Home
know Home
Depot.
Depot used to do.
Home
Do they still?
Depot do yes, they do a wonderful job. I have participated with it when I was working there, and the little crafts like they make the little bird feeders. They have so much, and I think it's every first Saturday. But look at your just or go on your local Home Depots or call up there. They'll give you the information. But almost yeah, all of the Home Depots always support that.
oh, okay. Okay.
I
And
remember
Or
now.
you can
People,
start your own in your neighborhood.
right.
because
Yeah.
we did that too. The
Yes.
camp
Yeah,
in the neighborhood.
right.
Called
So
it
I
Saturday University.
so I know they have this here. Do they have this there where they have like movies in the park?
Yes, they do. And different
Okay.
cities have that. We actually have a drive-in again in our hometown. And it's on the beach, which makes it extra cool. And they do
Oh, okay.
the family movie nights on Fridays.
In
And I
Fort
think right
Pierce?
now, yes. You didn't know that? It's nice. Across from Daddy's Beach, right across the street in that. And it's nice. Fridays is family movie night, and then Saturdays is something more adult or young adult, whatever. They don't really do, R and stuff like that. But in October they'll do the R's because they do all the scary movies. They do a whole Halloween series, horror movie night series is what it is.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
not going to that. Mm-mm.
I caught
No.
just about every one a couple of years ago.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm not doing that one.
I
But
like
Nope.
drive-in.
most movies around this time, summertime, they have to have they like the dollar day with the dollar popcorn and stuff. They do a lot of those. So local movie theaters is a go to too.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And the libraries always have like the reading or the little what they
Story
call
time.
Story
story
time.
times. Yeah, the libraries
Mm-hmm.
is
Right.
The
always
libraries
been
show
one of my
movies too.
favorites. Yeah,
The
Mm-hmm.
libraries show movies too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, for the people that like the techie world, Apple has a couple of things that they schedule throughout the week for like children activities with electronics. I don't know them in particularly, but they say I know they do them. Like they'll have something scheduled each week, some type of activity for them to do on the Macs.
nice.
Oh,
I
Okay.
never knew that.
That's cool.
Now that's pretty interesting there.
Hmm. And they even teach like a Mac 101 class to where for an hour they teach them how to use Mac computers and stuff for free.
oh,
Nice.
okay. Let's see.
Me and we've been having it up. We've been spending a lot of time in the pool. We've been getting in the pool, but we also, there's a bunch of inexpensive things to do in Orlando. Period. They went to they create what is it Crayola experience inside of the Florida Mall. There's a Crayola store, and you
Mm-hmm.
can go into Crayola experience, and you can make your own crayon color.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, oh, oh.
oh,
Fun
that's
fact.
cool.
So the guy that came up with the Crayola from its
Yeah.
inception, he lived in Fort Pierce. They were from up north, I think. But it was the dad had all the money. The son, he went into his whole different business idea, which was the Crayola company, and lived in our hometown.
Oh wow. So he came up with the
I'm
idea while in Fort Pierce?
to Yes. Well, I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
if it that's where it came
I'm
from,
claiming it.
but he was there when
Oh, she's
he
still
actually
in it.
lifted it off the ground and doing all of that. Fort Pierce, I keep finding so much history that we have in that city.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
Yeah, but
Yep.
it's not. It's
They just
nice
had
though.
the
Yes.
festival a couple of months ago.
It's a really big, like the Crayola experience thing. It's real. It's a huge, like you go inside the store and the store looks small. It's like a regular boutique store inside the mall. A decent sized store, but still, just a regular mall store. But then in the back, there's this huge sign that says Crayola Experience with the arrow, and you go around this wall, and then all of a sudden you start seeing all these colors, these big like this wall is yellow and that wall is green and then this staircase is orange and then you keep going and keep going and then you go through the line and you pay your ticket and you go inside and it's just this a whole Willy Wonka experience type experience for with crayons. It's
Hmm.
pretty and it's not that expensive. It was pretty cool.
I want to do that. I know a lot of the
Oh,
the parks too, like
I've been, and it is very
yeah,
cool. I gotta admit.
I haven't gone to that one. I know some of
well,
the parks and museums and stuff is cheaper in the summer too because they know that people have their children out.
Yep.
And
yes.
especially in the evenings, if you wait a little later in the day, plus it's cooler, guys. The prices are cheaper because you don't
Mm-hmm.
have all day as you would have had with the full price
Yep.
tickets.
And then they
Yeah.
offer a lot of things like I have an Aquatica pass. I have an Aquatica annual pass and that's SeaWorld's water park and I pay like $15 a month for it. And
Hmm.
but we can go year round. And children under the age of 3 get in free year round.
Okay.
So yeah, with the interest of one adult person. So me and him, we've been taking advantage of that. I pack my own food so that we don't have to buy anything out
Yep.
there. The Aquatica Pass comes with parking, so we don't have to pay for parking. You just want to go early enough to beat the line, cause
Wait now. So
Right.
I have questions though. You don't have to have it's not a children's park, right? I won't look like a weirdo if I show up by myself.
no, no, it's
No.
Great,
Aquatica
great.
is
That's
it's an
all. You can
amusement.
move on. That's all I wanted to know.
Ooh,
Because you know
uh-uh.
I'm good for borrowing somebody's child so I can have fun. That's just
No,
something I've
girl.
always done. So
It's a dope
You
I like
park.
you
It's
got
part
you
of
that's
SeaWorld.
you
They
got
got
how
a
many
Aquatica is
big
part of
you
old.
got
SeaWorld.
you got
I'm
how many
checking because
grandkids?
listen, right now, I oh I t- it's funny you ask. I have 10. I'm up to 10 because
What?
y'all know I claim their half siblings or steps or whatever however they come into the family. I
Right.
claim all them babies. They all mine. And I just counted and yes, I have 10 now. Biologically, I have 4.
Dang.
They
So,
all have extras.
Oh, then that
right.
means
Where we at in life?
biologically I have two, and then in total I will have four. Oh, that is so cool.
Isn't it? Especially because they all get to go
Yes.
home, and you don't have to. Where
Yes.
were we going, Marva? Aquatica? Because that has been my excuse. That's to go into places I wanted to go, so I'll get a kid. But for there, I don't have to get a kid. Just so we're clear.
Nope.
Praises be. Look at God. You
I
know what
And
I'm
know.
you don't
saying?
have to
Well,
take you don't have to take their food. You don't have to purchase their food. A lot of the parks don't let you bring stuff in. It's
yeah.
kind of like they have a beach. They have a
Mhm.
man-made beach inside of there.
Mhm.
So they let people bring in bags with towels and stuff, with food and stuff.
If
And
I'm,
we just spend the whole day. We get in the wade pool and float around. We go to the
that's my
beach
favorite.
side.
Mhm.
There's two big wade pools, so you can like get in the smaller one or get in the big one, and you can just literally float all day
Oh
long.
yeah, me and
And
my
then,
So
kids.
I'm signing up
Yes.
that's
right
cool.
now.
yep, it's
That is
the
$15
silver
a month.
pass. It's the silver pass. It's $15 a month. It automatically comes with parking, and then they give you like two passes to where you can bring another adult with you on two separate times.
Mm.
I'm not
So,
Mhm.
stoked about that either. I just want to go about
so I,
myself and be in the wade pool.
oh, listen to her. So I know when I lived in San Diego, a diff on every Tuesday, a different part of the museum was free. Do they have anything like that in where you guys live?
So we have a museum here. It's called the Heritage Museum, and it's like the history of Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And on Thursdays, it's free. On Thursdays, the museum is free. After it's from starting at 3 p.m. It's free. You can get
Oh,
in.
okay. Cause like in San Diego in Balboa Park, we have like a plethora of museums. And so like let's say the first Tuesday of the month, the automotive museum, and let's say the um another museum will be free. And then on the second Tuesday, another the natural museum and like the space museum might be free. But I know here in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon, I want to say, and I don't know if they're still doing it, but I want to say that OMSI, the first Sunday of the month, OMSI is like $3 to get in, and that is like the science museum.
Yeah, but we have a
It's
number of
cool.
science museums in again in our hometown, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
science museums, and even our power plants. I don't know if they still do it, but they have an interactive part of the power plant. It's a small like science type of learning situation, and the art museums, and then even so our town is on the coast, so they even have fishing clinics and swimming clinics and stuff like that. Those are hosted by the what are those guys, our coast guard, our local coast guard.
Oh,
And the firefighters do something every now and then. They'll have a clinic. So you might want to look into the different your city and other municipal or structures or whatever officials, and
right.
they have different clinics on safety and stuff like that.
Oh,
As
okay.
well as if you go towards North Florida, they have discounts, major discounts around this time, and a lot of them are like the tours of the swamps. It's really cool.
Hmm.
The swimming with the dolphins, or even just taking dolphin tours, manatee tours over in Fort Pierce, as well as Marva. You want to look into that dinosaur world over in Plant City. It's pretty cool. And Butterfly Land is really cool for anybody who would want to learn about butterflies. Be careful with the weaves if you go up in there because they will plant an egg. I'm not trying to scare you off, but yeah, they like bushy stuff. So
Okay.
they will tell you that yeah, they will plant a egg off in there, and this is the springtime, so you know this is mating season. I mean summertime. It's a little bit of the mating season still going on with some of our beautiful creatures out there. But yeah, Butterfly Land, Dinosaur World, and over there and just take some of those tours. The swamp. Oh, and as well. Oh, I always forget about this. The clear boat. It's a clear boat in a couple of cities. I know one is in Vero Beach, where you can actually look down in the ocean while you travel. It's so
Silver
cool.
Springs. Hmm.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
There's a
And
couple of
maybe
those
why
here.
you just I'm sorry, Auntie Marva, but you're the reason why I'm saying. Auntie Michelle just kind of singled you out and said, Auntie Marva, you might want to look into this. I think we need to share why we came up with this while we're having this topic and Auntie Marva's big news, and we're all very happy
I think
about
she
Oh,
it.
introduced that a couple
she
shows
shared
ago.
Did
you.
she? Did she?
Yeah,
Did
she
she?
shared her big news two
She
two
did. Where was
episodes
I?
ago.
Yeah.
You your
You,
your
Well, for
phone your
anybody that's doing don't know, how about
your
that?
phone had shut down that day.
yeah,
Oh, that's what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
She
yeah. Because
already shared her big news.
yeah, she has shared her big news during open topics.
Well, for anybody that wasn't abreast of that, which I wasn't. Share it, child. Go ahead.
I have I have a brand new unemployed best friend that now resides with me. His name is
We're not
Idris.
saying names.
I have a brand new unemployed best friend that resides with me. He recently just turned 2 this past Friday. And I am his adopted mommy now.
You know what? That's
Yay.
crazy. And that's congratulations. But everybody just told, look, I said three going on four, and your mom, the grandma, said said two going on three. Yeah, that baby is 2 years
He's
old.
just a
You know what?
he's just a giant. He's
He
just
He is
is.
very,
a
very
giant.
big. He's very big for his size. So everybody thought he was older than what he was. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
he
sorry,
just turned
baby.
2.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
so
when
glad
I
I ain't
saw,
buy a toy.
yeah, because when I saw that picture, I was like, "Are you sure?"
Look, Auntie,
So
I'm glad I ain't
listen.
buy a toy because that thing I had been a 3 to 4 years old toy. So you know
So
what?
listen. I was just thinking about what y'all was talking about the clear waters, and so I typed in natural springs near Orlando, and it pulled up a list of 10. And they're all beautiful. Wakiwa Springs is in
Mhm.
Apopka. It's $6 for the whole vehicle. So however many people you can pack in, y'all get in for $6. Kelly Park or Rock Springs, y'all know about Rock Springs. It's $3 for 1 to 2 people and $5 for 3 to 8 people. Silver Glen is it's an hour and a half north of Orlando. And it's $8 on the weekdays and $11 on the weekend for per person. Alexander Springs is it's in Ocala, near Ocala's National Forest Park. That's around the same price. Weeki Waki Springs State Park. It's
We've been to
WEEKI.
those.
Weeki
I've been
Waki.
there. I took my kids there, and it's really
They're
nice.
in Spring Hill. Ooh, Ihukatukni.
Well, these are all Native American
Yes.
Yes.
words. So yeah.
Ihukatukni Springs. It's in Fort White, and it's $6 per vehicle. And then you can get for $5.50 you can get a tubing tram because they're all doing the little rowing tube thingy for
Oh,
five
okay.
bucks.
Mm.
The waters are so pretty on all of them. Rainbow Springs is in Dunellen, and it's $2 a person. The water is amazingly blue, like wow. And then Blue Spring, and Bruce Blue Spring is in Volusia County, and it's $6 per car.
I
There is
was
one that I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was not laughing at I was laughing at I was not laughing at you. I was laughing with you because it's nice to know I'm not the only one that have a hard time pronouncing stuff.
I don't even
So
pretend,
that's
Auntie. I don't even
Well,
pretend.
I would like to tell you guys about some of my adventures there with my kids. They was
Oh, go ahead.
beautiful, but here is a funny story. Y'all know I got some big kids. You know my kids is like the, I mean the baby over there. Sorry, the baby over there. And yeah, we just have big babies up in this family. And so my eldest son and my baby daughter decided they was gonna do the what is it, the raft? What's the one you
hmm
row? That's the rafts. What?
the
Yeah.
Yeah, they,
or the kayak.
is it the kayak? It's a little small boat, the small one, the two
The
people,
kayak.
2 or 3
The
people get on
kayak.
it. The kayak.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
that's what I rented.
Kayak,
And so
yeah.
we all supposed to got on it because they told us 3 people could get on it. But son told me, no, baby, no, mama, you need to sit this side. So I did. And that was the day I was not recording. I'm recording with me and my babies. And them two flipped in the water. It ain't funny then. It's funny now because my oldest is like 6'5" 5 and he's hanging out of a tree. And my baby girl is hanging on to the boat thingy, and they're like 5 feet, and I'm just like stuck because my great
Mm-mm.
blackness won't let me out in that water. Go save my babies. I'm
Uh-uh.
sorry. I but I had my other people around me, and they was willing and ready, and I was so happy that I had with because I wasn't
Mm-mm.
going out there in that water. And I'm
No,
adventurous
Auntie,
as all get go, but I was laughing, and I know it was wrong, and I apologize, but they made it back safe.
I'd have
That's the
laughed
story.
too. Auntie Janisha, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just last year I had planned to go on a river tour. It was a night river tour. And I think it was in I want to say September. It only happens a certain time of year, but you do it's a canoe, as a matter of fact, and they're not the
Nice.
clear bottom boats. But what you can see is a bunch of small animals like shrimp and other things that glow in the dark, and it only happens at that time of year.
Oh
I'm
wow,
thinking it
that
was
sounds
September, but I
fun.
didn't get to go because I think I got called into work or something. I
Where
don't
is that
remember what
at?
it was. It's in, if I'm not mistaken, this was in Vero Beach. It was somewhere north of us,
Hmm.
not too far. So on the
Oh,
east
okay.
coast of Florida,
A lot of
but it
people sleep on
is
that area, but it's some nice stuff go down over there.
oh yes it is. If you like if you're kind of nerdy like we are, then you'll get a kick. It is a
Yeah.
lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
Even if you're not, because some even like with children, they tend to want to be really entertained. And as we've introduced our children and stuff, and I learned that about a lot of children, like when you don't know, you just don't know.
Right.
You think you
Right.
want all of that, but then once you're like oohing and ahhing because there's a lot of amazing stuff we do sleep on.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Our last topic is regarding minority adoptions. And I came across this article, and it's called The Color of Adoption: Who's Reaching Out to the Black Community? And it is published by the Adoption Advocate, and it's number 116. And the article came out February 1st, 2018. So I was reading through this article. I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to read a little bit, and you guys can um, read through the read through the rest of the article. But it was really interesting to me because the article starts off with, why reach out to the Black community? We are writing about something near and dear to our hearts and which concerns us greatly: the lack of Black families who choose adoption for their family plan. We address our attention to women experiencing unintended pregnancies and countless Black parents who could provide Black children with a stable, loving, permanent adoptive home. We want to be a conduit that advocates and encourages the options of adoption for Black families. Our goal is to be heard across the nation, to reach all members of Black communities, to have them consider the beauty that adoption may offer them. And then it says, the 2017 State of America's Children Reports statistics paint a terrifying picture. They are they are part of a horrifying narrative. 136 African American babies are born to teen mothers every day. That's one baby every minute, 4,640 babies per year. A new baby is a challenge to any new parent, but for the teen mother who has not had the chance to finish growing up, or finish high school and further her education to help provide for that baby, the odds are stacked against her. So, what are your thoughts so far?
It's a couple of things in there. What kind of um? I've been hearing about a lot of things you're pointing out right now lately, and I mean this that could be a long conversation. That's just not a. But I'll start what I can. I just watched a TikTok where a black household adopted a white child. The white child was thriving lovely, doing great, beautiful, and that was his mom. He took on to the family. The whole family was in with it, and they came in, snatched the child, and said, "We think you'll be better fit in some people what look like you," and took that child. And then we see TikToks all the time where other people can adopt our kids. I remember around when that earthquake hit in Haiti, and they was adopted. They was sending those kids to be adopted over here. A lot of people got turned down what it was black, and I want people to sit with that for a moment. You know
Yeah.
what's that about? Because if you're telling a little white child they shouldn't be adopted by us, but you're accepting letting other people adopt our kids, and it's not like a lot of us won't take these kids in. That was a thing we did before it was a service in place for somebody to say, here, give somebody to take this child. I remember times in our neighborhood where we would just take the child when something happened to the parents without the paperwork or anything else and treating them like our own. That have always been something in our culture that they want to dismiss, but that was something in our culture, and that have been passed on throughout the heartless of slavery. Remember, at one time, it was just taking kids away from parents and giving them to other tribes of people like we was animals. And that was passed on in ours to just accept people into our families.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to go about that and what is really the challenge out there. But me personally, when I taking a child in and treating it like my own, and I know my family will accept that. We are the type of family that will accept people coming into our family, even grown people. So, hey,
Yeah. Auntie Janisha?
I'm with Auntie Michelle as far as a lot of different things stuck out to me. I know that just historically, the African American, the Black community, we've not generally been upfront with putting the man in the middle, except when it comes to child support, which I'm not fully sold on that we should just run down there because of what I'm about to say. Like she said, we typically have just done what needs to be done. And I don't see it, we don't do it as much anymore. I won't say we don't do it as much. It's not out there as much as we used to see it. Like children just used to go with grandma and live there or with aunts. And we did that without all the paperwork. It was just kind of automatic for our community. So as far as our numbers not not adopting, it's greatly misskewed because those underground things are happening. They're still happening,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I don't go with the numbers that we see broadly. That's just what they can prove on paper.
Right.
And with that being said, I was hearing on NPR a program, and I forget what state it was, but there was a few that are doing this right now with this state in the lead. I want to say Ohio, but I think I'm wrong since we have 50 to deal with. But anyway, they were trying to bring us out of the shadows as far as that is concerned. Whereas if you want to um, adopt or be the caretaker for a child or children for whatever reason, that you would then be able to get all of the benefits that adoptive and foster parents get. So you can stop hiding. That way you can actually, yes, take the child and get other services for them. Take the child and uh, to the doctor and do all the stuff that you need to be able to do, right? Without
Mm-hmm.
hiding what's happening in your family dynamic for whatever reason that it needs to happen. Um, and this is what some states are moving towards because of what I'm saying. It's already happening, and it's the only way that you can keep people from just having to hide
Right.
because the numbers are up higher than what they're saying. As far as our community, we do this. It's what we do. It's what we've always done, even when it's for a little while, right?
Right.
um as far as other children, I've heard that. I've not tried to adopt, but ever since I was little, I've always wanted to adopt. But I also saw myself in a stable, committed relationship where it would just be there for the child, right?
Right.
Um, and so I'm not against it now at my age. I still would like to. And I wanted to adopt so much. I even looked into the what's it called? Boys Town of America, because I heard that you and your partner, they were taking um, couples, and you would go and live on their like quote unquote compound where all these foster children were, and you would be like, let's say myself and my person, my husband or whatever, we would be in a house and they would give us up to 8 children is how it went. And I already had 2 kids, so of course they would just give me 6 more, give us 6 more, and we would be the house mom and dad for those children along with ours. And I always thought that was a pretty cool concept. I've not looked into the statistics, how successful they are, how the children turn out, or any of that. But I really do like that. And you're kind of in a community of similar households right there together. Like I said, a compound because all children were there. So I looked into something like that before.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah, I've
cool.
always wanted to do that, and I've always wanted siblings because I do hear on all sides, not just our children, but that siblings are hard to place together.
Yes.
There's not always space, and especially with older children too. I've desired that, because people
Yeah.
want cute, little, but I wouldn't mind the teenagers or even middle schoolers. So
Yeah. Auntie Marva. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Were you done?
I am. I'm rambling, but those are always been my thoughts about adopting.
Okay.
Go
Auntie
ahead,
Marva.
Auntie.
Um, I used to kind of didn't have an opinion about it. I guess it didn't really bother me, but I also never saw myself adopting. I never saw myself in this predicament at all. But never say never, because here we are. Um, I I guess I never saw myself adopting because I don't know. When you think about it, we kind of always adopted. We've always adopted children, somebody's kids, one way or another, into our family, and we've always been open to receiving, different people, other people. So, um, maybe we're just putting a title on it in my brain, but
Hmm.
we've
Yeah.
always kind of done this. It's nothing new to us. My grandma was always receiving of people. We were never ones to like cast anybody away. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm thinking maybe we're just finally putting a title to it, but I can't honestly say I never saw myself adopting. Not that I was against it, but I just never, seen it happening. But here we are. I'm adopted mom now. Um, and I got the little old boy in there. But it was nerve wracking at first, questioning, can you do it? Can I do it? Am I capable of doing this? But now that he's been here for some time, I can say that it's pretty cool. It's just making sure I got him on his schedule that works with my schedule, and
Mm-hmm.
but also attending to his needs because he's little, so he does need a lot of attention. He needs a lot of just focus, and but I can honestly say it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It has its rewards. A lot of energy is required, but the little rewards keeps you going, keeps you moving, and keeps you You know what I'm saying? That, I can do this. I can do this.
Right.
Little rewards as in, their little triumphs, watching their little words, him developing his words and watching his personality form and, little things like that. It's like, oh, that's so cute. Like it's a bunch of constant little rewards all the time. I wake up and he'll be in my bed, pat me on my face saying, get up. And I start fussing, like, get out, because he has his own bed and I'm fussing. But then he'll reach down and put his little buck teeth on my cheek and give me a kiss. And I'm like, oh. So it has its little rewards that are
Yes,
very
Lord.
cute. It
Yeah,
has its little rewards. So it's I've come to appreciate it. I realize this is my task. If he's gonna be with me for a short period of time or forever, this is my task, and I'm now glad that God chose me for the task because it's pretty cool.
right. Yeah. So, when I was reading through the article, um, and they were talking about the teen moms, as you all know, I was a teen mom, but not by choice. Even though that choice was taken from me and that was the result, adoption just didn't enter my it just didn't enter my putting her up for adoption just didn't enter my thought process as an option, you know. And so but I did finish high school, you know, and and um and I was thinking because um she was like, this was like a few years ago. She was like, um because I was thinking about doing the foster to adopt, because my friends were doing foster to adopt, and I was helping with their kids, and I was like, oh, this would be so fun, well, so cool to do. And I was talking with her about it, and she was like, really, you don't like people in your space? And I'm like, well, that's true. I She's like, you can't handle people being in your space, and you talked about wanting to foster adopt. Okay. So she just laughed at me. But I was just like, it was a thought. Mm,
That's
Yeah,
literally all it
it is
takes.
something to think through. It's not anything to take lightly at all.
no, it isn't,
Because
because
even like I was
it's
just
a
gonna say, even like it's something that I wanted to do always that I haven't done, and I've done a lot of stuff that I've always wanted to do.
hmm
Um, that is a very serious commitment, right?
yeah.
And now that I'm a grandmother, I don't know that I like it would still be beautiful for me to do it. And if I was faced with having to care for someone, if the opportunity came, of course I'm going to take that mental up and run with it. But to make the decision to walk into it, go into an office and choose a kid or any of that, I don't know because I do enjoy being a grandmother. I can take them home. My grandsons are with me now. Y'all know I'm trucking, and they're 5 and 6. And I didn't know how much I appreciated peace and quiet. I knew peace, but I didn't know how much I really appreciated the quiet in here. And they're not even that bad, but there's a contrast. So
I would like
I
to
really
say
don't know.
something.
I really don't know.
Go ahead, Auntie.
Um, I have actually I have watched two documentaries. What pushed me to overlook my space for kids in need, and it is a dedication, but I would treat them just like I treat my own, and the love and care that we nurturing that we have in our family. I can see anybody, a lot of people in our family taking on those roles. Um, and the family dynamic, because regardless of what we do, stick together and we push through and we try to correct. and that's a big deal in that community. This story was on the news right now where it was a white couple adopted some black kids, and the number went. I only got to hear about three of the kids what they removed, but it was more than that. They started in Washington and they moved over to Virginia, and they adopted these kids solely on slaving them, solely on slaving them, and they were slaving them, and the people in the neighborhood was calling. It was like they have these kids out here in a porter potty thing. When they found the little boy, his foot was blistered, and the little
Wow.
girl, and they were starved out, and all these things, and it took multiple calls for them to get to these kids. And the other story was two women were adopted all these kids, and one of the kids we seen during the big thing of Black Lives Matter, he was taking an officer. He was one of those children that they killed at the end, but they was straight up starving those kids. The schools had called. The little girl snuck out and went to a neighbor house. What was like because they lived in a farmland as well, and they had the little girl got to their house and it was like up the road, and this little girl was came there begging for food, and the kids kept coming there begging for food. And it is so it is heartbreaking how they will sit and try to blame out, but they're not looking in because we done heard the stories of the missing kids and the calls that teachers have made, and so many people around them like actually just did not care. Like the first time you're hearing a child say something, take heed to it, and it's just like almost like that same dynamic they like to put up, with the other things. Oh, black people don't like work and this, that, and another. Now we don't like to adopt, and I'm pretty sure that's not true. It's a lot of people that can't have babies and really want babies, and because I don't know the numbers. Just like Auntie Janisha said, I don't know the number, but I know I have ran across some decent people where just took in their nieces and nephews and just took in the children up the road because something happened. So it's like until you are in them communities, you really don't know what's going on in those communities. Because I remember the big mama, wasn't everybody real big mama. She was just a lady who took in all these kids off the street, or took in the kids when something happened with the parents,
Mm-hmm.
when the pandemic of the crack pandemic and all this right here was going on. She was that mama what just took those babies in, and she raised them off the strength because she wasn't getting any um assistance or nothing. She lived in this tiny home, and those kids became cousins or whatever. That's how a lot of those kids, but ain't blood cousins, are cousins now, or sisters, siblings now. And
Right.
so, it just make you think of so many lies was and the narratives pushed out there for what? Why? And then you wake up and it's overrated with, oh well, a lot of people get up there and say how these kids even made it in the system. Well, I done see some things where the parents, where it was a few parents what was fighting, and was nothing wrong with the kids. It's the beliefs of the kids. Like, I don't want my kid eating meat. I don't want my kids taking vaccines. And they're trying to snatch these kids. I know one of my kids, my own personal grant, was almost being faced with that. He's a small child. She was, oh, he's malnutrition. First of all kids don't grow the same. He's a small child. And when I tell you that baby eat, he eats. But the thing about it is, she was the same way. She was a small person, wasn't ate, but never got big. And before I was a big person, I was like that. I could eat all day and all night, and I would never get big. And my siblings here tell you, and that could just be a gene thing. But don't
Yeah.
sit here and just like every person will have lost their child to the system. It's because it's their own fault. Sometimes it's the system.
Right.
It really is the system is messed up.
Right, and that was one of
Yeah.
the points they were bringing out on that NPR piece that I was speaking on earlier. Why they're leaning towards, and again, it's just a few states that's leading the way, but that's why they're leaning in that direction to assist families or people closer to the family of the children to take the children in if they're wanting to, and assist them through that process so they can get all the benefits instead of hiding,
Yeah.
because it makes it easier on the children ultimately, because it's somebody they already know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's important.
You know, when you made the comment just now, Janisha, about you don't know if you would adopt because now you've come to appreciate peace and quiet. I can honestly say, even with
That's not
my
what I
little one,
said.
that's
That's
what
not
you
what I
said.
said.
It's exactly
No,
what you
I said the
said.
peace and quiet because these boys are on here. I said
I
I
know,
don't
I
know
know,
about
I
that
know,
part.
I know.
I think she's teasing you.
But I can
You
honestly
know I
say,
love the kids.
now that I think about it, I don't know if I would get up and go and say, I want to adopt a kid because, like you say, this situation was an emergency situation. So he's here. Never will we ever turn away anybody. That's just who we are. But him being here now, I realize the responsibility because it's just me and him every day,
Hmm.
all day. No let up.
Right.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Evening snack, lunch, brunch, midnight snack. Just me and him. It's just me and him. And it requires a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah. No more peace and quiet.
No, yeah, no peace and quiet. Even I realize how important it is to be close to other adults that are kind of in your same boat so that you can get some adult time, because you forget, like, you really lose sight of yourself. And I was having a conversation with my team lead at my job, and he was like, I just wanted to let you know that this is a courageous thing that you're doing, but I wanted to let you know that I see you. He was like, you're beautiful, you're doing your thing, and I can't imagine how much sacrifice that you give up without you even thinking about how much sacrifice you give up. But I just want to let you know you make it look good. And I was like, I do, because I feel exhausted. Like, I'm tired. Like,
Yeah, people have no idea.
I am tired. I
Yes,
have to get
Lord.
up very early to do, just to even do my own thing, my own personal things. I have to get up way earlier than I would have ever done to make sure I can get all of that done before he gets up. Because
Right.
once he gets up, I'm out the window. Like, whatever I thought I was gonna do, that's dead.
Right.
It's not happening. So, and then I have to do all of that too, when he's up all day. And then when I put, because he's on a schedule, but when I put him down, then I have to flip back over and do my stuff. But I don't really have time for my stuff, because I'm really just preparing for the next day, or
Right.
preparing for the next week, or preparing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Focusing on whatever time thing I need to focus at for work, or whatever the case may be. So there is no me time, right? You lose sight of that.
Yeah.
And then this whole process, um one of the biggest issues that I found is the fact that I'm not rich. I'm okay. I am okay with my income. But because I am okay with him, I do not qualify for any type of government assistance. I do not qualify for any type of, I don't qualify for food stamps. I don't qualify for any type of cash assistance. I don't qualify for daycare assistance. I don't qualify for anything. And people say, well, you're doing pretty good for yourself, so you shouldn't need it. Right? Wrong. Wrong.
Hmm.
Because even though I'm over the limit, by the time I pay out all of my bills
Right.
and food and gas and pull-ups and diapers and wipes, and then his foods, and eating healthy is very costly, because I don't want to give him crap because he's a little kid. I want to give him
Right.
a fighting chance. So fruit, and constantly purchasing water, and by the time I pay for all of that, there is nothing left.
Right.
Medical expenses, he's on my insurance now, so they're taking more out of my insurance, out of my check for insurance. um Little thing, I had to get him a physical, and we had to go to the health department to get his the shot record and all of this to be even go to school. Daycare is $295 a week. That's
Yeah.
average. There were some of them were 310, 305, and 310 and 315. There were some that was 275 and 260. There were some cheaper ones, but those cheaper ones were scary. So I could never
Right.
even wrap my mind around even thinking about taking him over to those facilities because those facilities were scary. You know, the good old fashioned, you get what you pay for. Oh
Yeah.
yes, you take your child in there, you'll probably never get them back because you get those feelings. We walk through the doors, me and him, and we get those feelings, and I'm like, my mind and my heart and my soul is saying, "Girl, run, take that child and get up out of here." So
Right.
by the time I get through paying all of that, a lot is lacking.
Yeah.
A
Well,
lot
and
is lacking. But then
yeah,
they're
and
trying to say, mhm,
yeah, I'm sorry to mean to cut you off. You say, yeah, I mean, there are two parent with two income parents are having those same struggles.
Right.
Yep.
So if two working parents are having those same struggles, I can't even begin to imagine what a single parent is
mhm.
struggle is. I mean, if you have two working parents that can't make ends meet, what do you do as a single parent? I
What I
mean,
can say is God is real
mhm,
and he truly is a waymaker. Because since that child has been here, I miraculously end up with money and I don't see it coming, but I'll get blessed.
yeah,
Um People have like they'll just pop up and say, I got this. I wanted to give this to you. I thought about you and him and I wanted you to have this. And it'll be something that I need for him that I don't
right,
even realize that I need it until they're giving it to me. And I'm like, oh wow, this really does help. I need this because X, Y, and Z. So in the beginning, I was worrying and I was stressed out real bad. I was stressed out. Y'all don't understand. Like, and I don't. And this is something that is being new, being um disclosed to my siblings. I was stressed out bad because I had no idea that I would struggle this hard. I had no
right,
idea that I would struggle this bad because I'm thinking, well, it'll be fine. I could just go get some government assistance. No, baby girl, you don't qualify. And so I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? So I
right,
had to rearrange my way of living and my way of
As
paying my bills and my way of just everything. And I had to put myself on a very, very, very tight budget. And he's still not in school right now. I think it's just a blessing that I work a hybrid schedule and I'm home 2 days out of I only have to go to campus 2 days out of the week. And for most of those days, my supervisor and my team lead will say, we know what you're doing. Stay home. You're okay. We got
right,
you. Ain't nothing but a blessing of the Lord that it work out like that. Because
right.
$300 a week.
I know. So we have to move on. So we're journey to self love. We are index card number 12, and this one is I feel comfortable in my skin. And then for loving connections, building a lasting relationship, you're going to name 5 things you are thankful for that your partner does for you. And now we're going to turn it over to Auntie Marva for Career Corner.
Oh, I thought you was about to say I gotta talk about what my partner do for me. I'm like, I just did. I'm single mama. What partner?
No, you got the Career Corner. Do your thing.
Okay. So for Career Corner, I was thinking about individuals like myself. I've been trying to find a part-time job to compensate some of the things that we were just talking about, right? So I've been trying to
Mhm.
find a part-time job from home that I can do in the evenings or overnight while the little one is sleeping. I have not been able to find that for myself, but what I did find was some things for you guys. So, two at-home positions. The first is a sales representative. This is a remote position. The company is called Herr Alexander once. That will be in the comments. The link will be there. You'll actually be able to see it. It's spelled Her, Herr, Alexander, and then once, Wunsch, once, whatever. They're based out of Los Angeles, California, but the position is remote. The pay range is between $30 and $40 an hour, and it is part-time work. And they just posted this position 2 days ago, and they currently, according to this, only have two applicants. So it's wide open. Click the link and apply. The second one is with DraftKings Inc. DraftKings is a gaming app in the sports world. It's almost kind of like betting, gambling, if you will, ish. But they are looking for VIP sales associates. This one is based out of Chicago. But it is a full-time remote work, entry level. The pay range is between 48,000 to depending on your experience, all the way up to 72,000 a year. They posted it a week ago, and they have a couple of applications, but it's still fresh and still early, so you still have time to go and put your application in, because I am sure they are hiring for several positions with this position, as this app is an international app where people do sports betting all over the world. And third, if you are one of those that cannot work, don't prefer to work from home, Motorola is looking for sales representatives. They're looking for associate customer support, as far as from as low as entry level positions all the way up to management. So you can go to Motorola Solutions website, and you can apply directly there. But these links will be in the bio, and I hope you get that position. So good luck.
Thank you. So, before we go into open topics, there's something that I wanted to talk about because um, I had a really bad week last week because I hold a lot of things in, and I don't always share everything that's going on with me, which I really need to get out of the habit of doing that, because a lot of you know I suffer from anxiety, and I was thinking that I would start painting to help calm my anxiety. So I have a friend who has like painting supplies, and so I was at her house, and we were sitting at her table, and I was painting, and it just became so overwhelming for me that everything just started crashing in on me at once, and I just started bawling. And so I was just like, um I I was just so overwhelmed with everything, and so and had all of these thoughts. I kept having these I kept hearing all of the thoughts that my mom would say to me as a kid. You know, she would tell me that I was worthless and I wasn't going to amount to anything. And I grew up with a mom who was a perfectionist, so everything had to be perfect. And I just kept thinking that I was just failing at everything, and I wasn't and I wasn't living up to that perfection standard. And so I talked with my therapist, and I mean, he gave me a little assignment to do, and I did it, and it did make me feel a little bit better. But I wanted to ask you guys, um, do you ever um keep things so bottled up that you get so overwhelming to where you're just falling, or are you good at um getting it off your chest as it happens.
I'm a Cancer. I cry twice a month.
Oh well,
Okay. I
um,
didn't want her to say she a Cancer, she cried once a month. Okay.
yeah, because I'm a whole Aquarius over here, and I see first of all, you did a tremendous job with your life as I've heard your life story. You started
Okay,
and
Auntie
now,
Michelle, I'm having a
even
hard
with the
time.
challenges.
Auntie Michelle, I'm
Oh,
having
can
a
you hear
hard
me?
time
Can
hearing
y'all hear
you.
me?
So
Hello?
I can hear you now.
It's
So I need you to
you.
start over.
It's crackling, is what it is. Every time you start
Oh,
talking, it
okay.
starts crackling.
Yeah.
Is it still
So
doing it
start
now?
over. It's better. It's better
Can y'all
now.
hear
So
me?
so start over. Yes, go ahead.
I would like to say, me knowing your personal story, you did a fantastic job with what the cards what was dealt to you, and you do a fantastic job as far as allowing them to be utilized to help others. I know I'm one of those people what got help from you, even through your struggle. So I would to say, regardless of what anybody said to you, went through what you was, whatever, I would take my voice saying that your story and how you have allowed your who to become who you are during the challenges is a major help and needed in this life. So I want to say that first, but I also want to tell you, you the one taught me how to communicate my feelings out more. So I do that. Um, I'm working with it. My older sister in relationships. I went from one to the other, and so now I'm trying to find my balance of how to communicate um to people in general about how I feel about certain things. Does not be like shut down, okay, whatever, bye. And I know I can't be that person, but it's a challenge, and I know I am looking at it as I'm acknowledging it, and I will do better.
Right. Auntie Janisha.
Well, I'm a Capricorn, so it ain't nobody business that I might cry. That we don't admit to such things like that. Auntie, I know you're a special kind of different Capricorn, but we don't cry. We
Right.
ain't got time. We too busy making money. That's the outside. So yeah, I'm crying all the time on the inside, and a lot of times people don't know, and I've been told that I just because I present well most of the time,
Right.
and make it through stuff, and showing up and all of the things. But grew up. We grew up in a household where people didn't listen, so I learned to hold a lot of things inside and to focus on helping other people and to leave my stuff sitting inside, right?
Right.
And then I did like Auntie Michelle just said. I went all the way to the other end and I used to let everything out because um, somebody that I met a couple years older than me, they said, just spill it all out and then clean it up later. So I went through that whole phase, which was getting me in a lot of trouble. And now I'm somewhere in the middle. I do both because I'm ruled by two air signs, real heavy, a Gemini and an Aquarius. So the
Hmm.
Capricorn in me still wants to naturally hold everything in and just handle it. But that Gemini and Aquarius, they want to just run off. So it's a tough balancing act over here. And
Yeah.
I cry a whole lot, and people have no idea how much. I'm very much probably a water side on the inside.
Right.
And yeah, folks just don't know. But I'd be handling stuff on the outside. So to me, that is kind of a balance. 'Cause I can cry over here and work over here, and everybody's appeased inside of this body.
Right. Yeah. Because
But I'll tell you this: it happened yesterday. As far as anxiety, I suffer from anxiety. I've gone through the thing of not acknowledging it, because I didn't want to make it real, to yes, acknowledging it and researching it, facing it, all the stuff. I really don't know what to do because that's my personality is not to have a thing. What is this? I'm not supposed to have it because I got other stuff to do. I went through a tunnel yesterday, and being a trucker, I used to have issues I don't like the confinement and the lack of control. And I've not really had that issue out here because the traffic just flows. But yesterday, I was about to cry because all I saw was red lights pausing down under the tunnel on I-10 headed west into Florida from Alabama. It messed with me so bad. I was trying to make these boys sing in here and they weren't getting it because I wasn't communicating well what I really wanted them to do. And they were so confused and it was just so upsetting. And, you just make it through though. So, my point of all of that is cry when you need to cry. There is nobody that can tell me I'm not feeling what I'm feeling because I'm feeling it at the time.
Right.
You know what you are feeling. So, if you need to cry, yes, cry
Yeah.
because
I mean,
it comes up and out. Just
yeah,
let it
it,
out.
yeah. I mean, and it's just because everything is just everything is just coming at me and weighing on me all at once. It's not something that happens on a regular basis. It's like it's like a a, a 3 to 5 year thing that happens. When I'm like extremely stressed. Yeah.
I hold my stuff in too. I'm very bad at holding in. I'll hold it in forever for the longest until I pop. And when I pop, my pop ain't good. And of course there's always tears involved, but then and when I pop though, I kinda wanna, kick a dog or something. Like I really wanna like I wanna do.
No,
No, we're not kicking animals.
she was just playing, guys.
That
Not a
she
real
that
dog.
it was metaphorically, not
Yeah.
physically. You got to clarify that.
Good Lord.
Yeah, no,
Trying to
I
get us
really
Dang,
canceled.
I
she gonna
wouldn't
have
pick a real
everybody after
dog.
now. The SPCA gonna be after us.
I
Okay,
would never
PETA.
punch a baby.
Oh,
But you'll kick a
okay.
dog in
Now,
his head. Got
now
it.
it's a baby.
But no, it's like when I get mad. When I was younger, y'all knew me. When I was young, I would be mad and I would be so angry, and then it all just come out all the wrong way. And I've said some of the worst things that you could possibly think of on this side of the earth. And now I feel bad because I done hurt feelings and all that stuff. So now I allow myself to cry because I realize it's okay. Don't hold it in. It's okay. I will allow myself to cry. I have my moments where I'm feeling the type of way. I will get in my bed and ball up in a little ball and just cry it out.
Right.
Mhm.
And I say I let it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will trigger myself to cry because I know I've held stuff in for too long, and it just be a whole bunch of things, and I'm feeling it boiling. So what I do, especially in this truck, I will put on. I have this whole thing of crying, mostly men begging in some kind of music, and I know all the words, and I will sing all of them. And sometimes I'll get to sobbing, and I'll be like, "Boy, you get on my nerves," and I'll go to the next one, but I'm still in that, and I with that too, even though I'll rush through the song and get to the next song, I'm still in that phase. I'm still in that moment. And that's something I've learned to do. When I just said, if you need to cry, just cry. What I've learned to do for myself is not let anybody or myself rush me through it.
Right.
Because if it's still there, it's still there. Because the
Yeah.
buildup is the buildup. So you want it to the goal is to have that seeping little valve where you can let it out, let it out. But
Right.
everybody, obviously, the way we're speaking is not built like that.
Right.
But we certainly don't want to like close it tight and let that and explode. So I
Right.
allow myself that time, most definitely. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some fun stuff. Okay, so our first open topic is, if you could make the ultimate sandwich, what would be on it?
Cheese
Auntie Marla, just
Absolutely.
and,
cheese?
and butter and fried decent in the top of the stove. That's it. What else you gonna put on it? Meat? No. Ew.
Okay, so your ultimate sandwich is a grilled cheese sandwich. Okay. Auntie Janisha.
Had one
My
earlier
my my
today.
my thing right now. So I've done the keto diet and I was successful on it, but I've not been successful going back to it.
Okay.
However, there are some meals that I still eat. So one of those is a good burger wrapped in lettuce, the leaf lettuce, and
Yeah,
I love avocado on there. It has to have that cheese, Auntie Marva, yes. Some bacon, um, tomato, and a little mayo and ketchup. That's my thing.
that's your thing.
And I'm a beefy girl. I like beef,
Okay.
but wrapped in
So
lettuce.
so mine is a cucumber sandwich.
I knew you were
Whenever
gonna say
I
that.
go to say Subway, I always get a cucumber sandwich. I have them put the oil and vinegar on both sides of the bread in a good amount because you need to be able to know that it's on there, not a little drizzle. With the pepper jack cheese, the 3 rows of cucumbers, lettuce, mustard, and mayo.
Mm.
That is my ultimate sandwich.
I
I
keep
mean, I
saying I'm gonna
guess.
try that.
Sound like a salad on a bread.
Well, yeah, I guess so. If you could be any, oh, we lost Auntie Michelle. If you could be any kind of animal, which would you be, Auntie
A
Janisha?
chupacabra. I'm just kidding. Not a chupacabra. Um,
What is a
I used to
chupacabra?
have. It's this demon dog thing
Yes.
from I think Mexico or something like that. People say they've seen it, but
That
no,
sounds
I
like
think
fun.
that I would be. I actually have a thing for real for the Loch Ness and
For
also the
Nessie?
abominable snowman. Yes, because they're like so. Yeah,
Because they're
Yeah.
and I
unbothered,
think that's a
because the
Capricorn.
people
Yeah,
think that they hear them, see
Yeah.
them, and then
yeah,
they really might not
and
see
they be
them.
on about their business. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I was young, and this just came up because me and the boys have been talking about this, I forgot that I had this love as a child for Bengal tigers.
Oh, I love them. They're so beautiful.
They are, yeah, and they're huge. They are
Yes.
huge. So I think maybe that a Bengal
O-
tiger.
Okay, Auntie Marva.
I don't.
She's still thinking. Auntie Janisha gave us that long explanation and she had plenty of time
As she does often.
to come up with an answer and she's still thinking.
Man, because I ain't never thought about being no animal.
Okay,
Certainly
well,
not a
um,
dog. Hint, hint.
well, I
right.
can't be a dog. I'm allergic to them. So if I was, it'd be miserable.
And plus, people sometimes like want to kick them, or I'm just
Right,
saying.
Right.
right,
None of us,
right.
though. None of us.
No, none of us.
Man, I don't know. What animal would I want to be? Which one is not hunted? They're all hunted.
They're all hunted.
Um,
She said which was not hunted.
they're all hunted.
Yes.
What about a? Can I be an animal and I choose the environment that I'm in?
Sure, sure, go ahead.
I would like to be. No, because then they get aggravating too. I was finna say I would like to be a rich person's, like, house pet.
Oh.
But
Uh,
then they be aggravating me because don't be hugging on me right now. Like I'm trying to watch TV.
oh, then a cat. A cat would work for you
Yeah, you
because
could be a
a
cat.
cat will let you know, "Well, I ain't about this
Yeah,
life for real,"
exactly.
and
Okay.
people normally respect them.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
Cat it is. I don't do cats either, but if that's who I gotta be for you to get off my back and leave me alone, bring it.
Okay. See, I can't decide between a panther and a wolf.
I like the wolf.
Yeah, I can't decide between the panther and the wolf because I love them. I love them both equally.
Th- So you like the wolf because of Twilight? Why do you like the wolf?
No, I've always loved wolves. I love wolves because they're mysterious
Mm.
and they always give you that look like.
She sounded
I'm
like
gonna
Michelle
eat
from
you.
Destiny's Child when she was talking about she want to be a Black Panther. 'Cause
Okay, I didn't say it all like that.
she said because they walk
And
with
so
precision.
yeah. So okay, I heard this, and so I'm curious to what you guys think. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Why are you trying to start trouble? Is what I'm trying to figure out. What
Because
in the
that's
world? I
because
have one
that's
of those questions too, since it's open
because that's
topic.
what I do. That's what I do. I start as Auntie Michelle say, I'm starting ish.
I would say that it is. It's a different type of sandwich, but it is a sandwich, my
A
opinion.
hoagie, yeah. I mean, because a hoagie is still a sandwich, right?
I think so.
I think so.
A
Yeah.
sub sandwich, yeah.
They still
Yeah.
wrapped in the same bread.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, that's what I thought too. I'm like, isn't a sandwich uh basically something that's in between two slices of bread? So
But technically, it's not two slices of bread. So it's
no,
one.
but it's a bun. But the bun has two sides though, because you
But
put
a
the hot
hoagie
dog
is
in
in the
the
same.
middle.
A hoagie is in the same bread, and they call that a sandwich. So
Yep,
So yeah, okay. That's what I
I would
thought.
say.
Yeah, okay. Here's my last one. If you could be best friends with a character of in any animated show, which one would you choose?
the donkey from Shrek.
Okay.
Wow, there's so many. Oh, I know.
Go ahead.
Oscar. Oscar.
Oscar, who's
The
Oscar?
Grouch.
Oscar
The
the Grouch.
the Grouch.
He
He
was
Oh,
so
from
always said
sweet.
that.
Sesame.
Yes,
Okay.
He
he was
always
not he
said
was
that.
not held at the same standard as everybody else. Oscar was allowed to be Oscar without all the mushy gushy niceties. And yeah, and people still came by and visited, and then they had to go home when he said, or if they didn't, he just closed the door, and that was that.
Right.
Oscar.
Yeah,
You always
okay.
said that. You
I know.
always
I've
said
always
you
liked
like Oscar the
Oscar.
She
Grouch.
always like Oscar the Grouch. See, okay. Again, I
He
have a
was real.
dilemma. Again, I have a dilemma because, well, it didn't say how many. It just said if you could be best friends. So, since it's friends plural, I'm gonna give you a plural answer. Melanie from Josie and the Pussycats, because she just cracked me up.
What?
Optimus Prime from Transformer, and
Um,
Goliath from Gargoyles.
Hmm.
Uh, and that's all I have for open topics. You guys got
Well,
anything for open topics?
I do, and you just triggered it when you asked that question about the hot dog. So a trucker friend of mine and I were talking about westerns. He was watching a western. It was in the background.
Okay.
And I asked him what his favorite ones was, and he told me, and he asked me, and one that I said was Little House on the Prairie.
yeah,
So we got into this big old thing that Little House was not a western. It is a
It's
western. It's
not.
just a soft one.
it was a
Why do you
western.
feel that? It was. It was in the west because that's what makes it a western.
No, no.
And
See,
that
when
timing, the timing and the location, westerns. It was
no,
back then.
no, when I
Okay,
think of
what makes it not?
westerns, when I
Uh-huh.
think of westerns, I think of like
They had guns and horses on there.
Sure did. And Lil Joe used one. Well, that wasn't his name on there. Dad, what was his name? Lil Charles, what? Charles Ingalls. Charles Ingalls
Mr. Ingram.
used one here and there and roughed somebody up here and there. Him and Mr. Edward here and
and
there. Somebody got toe up.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I don't know, but I guess I'm not a
It was a
fan.
western from the perspective of the daughter. Because obviously she's
Yes.
not gonna be in the thick of what's going on with the grown folks.
Right.
She's just gonna
I
get a
guess
whiff of it.
I guess I'm not a huge fan of Little House on the Prairie, so yeah.
I
I,
love
Did
that
it?
show. Mm-hmm.
yeah. You know it's so funny that you mentioned Michael Landon. You know, Bonanza used to be one of my favorite shows.
I love
And
Bonanza.
and to this day, I still cannot watch that show
I love Bonanza.
without tearing up.
I loved Bonanza. That show, and I don't know why, because I hated the westerns, but I liked watching Bonanza with my grandma, and
Because it
she
was a soft western.
it
Same
was
reason why we watched Little House. It wasn't all shoot 'em up.
Yeah. See, when I think of when I think of westerns, I think of shoot 'em up.
And that's what his argument was. But that doesn't make it a western just because it's a lot of those, which I gave him this scenario. I said every last one of them that you just named, they've had a softer show here and there where it was some girl that was always the same scenario. Somebody's daughter wanted to marry somebody that the dad didn't want her to, and they had to go and convince him to let her live her life and all this, that, and the third. And nobody got shot, nobody got beat up, nobody nothing. It's just that Pops was mad. Pops
Okay,
was
so
mad, girl was upset. That did
okay,
not make those westerns.
okay,
It made them
so
Little House
then
on the Prairie.
is Big Valley a western?
Certainly is. Yep,
Okay.
because of the time and the location. Yes,
and
it was the
it was a
timing.
western just from the perspective of the women. It just wasn't a western from the perspective of a man with a gun and a sheriff badge.
Okay.
Hmm.
What about? I'm trying to think of other shows that was out during that time. What about Green?
Gunsmoke.
What about? Well, Gunsmoke was a western.
Yep,
What about Green Acres?
No.
was a western. Yes, Green.
Why?
Because well, no, because timing was off. It was more modern, so I guess maybe not. But one Mama did say was because I asked Mama about this. She said Billy's Beverly Hillbillies is technically a western, but in the city. I saw that when she said it.
I never
It
watched the
wasn't the
show.
location. It wasn't the location, but it was definitely that.
I never watched the show, so I don't know.
It
That
was
one
funny.
is questionable, but
It was funny.
I saw what she was saying.
It was funny.
Okay.
It was, yeah,
Interesting. All right.
Beverly Hillbillies.
Well, ladies, we have come to the end of another segment. It's always so sad when we come to the end. I keep telling y'all, we don't have money to be paying that mouse.
Listen, it is time to say goodbye.
Yes, but not like that. We don't have money for that mouse. I gotta edit this out. Y'all trying to get us sued for copyright infringements. But everyone, thank you again for joining us for another episode. We will see you all next month. Have a safe and wonderful month. We will see
Stay
you
hydrated.
all. Yes, stay hydrated because I don't know about where you guys are, but it's super hot here.
And it's
And
definitely hot in Central Florida.
yes. And
Landlocked.
thank you again for the love and support. And we look forward to reading your comments. And we'll see you all next month. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.